the Synergy Aviator 2.0. Hello everyone, welcome to Brian Unboxed. In this video, we're going to look at the Synergy Aviator 2.0 electric scooter. This is how the scooter comes in, and you can see how it's packaged. It requires very minimal assembly, which I will highlight later. Inside it comes with a user guide, rubber bolt covers, charger, and tool set. Just to go over some specs, this has two 48 volt 600 watt motors for a total of 1200 watts, 48 volt 15.6 amp hour lithium battery, and it takes 7 hours to fully charge. It has a top speed of 20 miles per hour but can be unlocked to 28 miles per hour with a range of 25 miles. 8-inch solid tires, but newer versions will ship with air-filled tires and the solid will be an option. Front and rear drum brakes, front and rear suspensions, aluminum alloy frame, LCD display, front light and deck light, weighs in at 56 pounds and has a max load of 275 pounds. A brief walkthrough around the scooter, you'll see that the front has a front light, front suspension, front motor, drum brake, front fork, lights, charging port, and folding handle. Towards the middle and the back, you have the side light, non-slip pad, footboard, kickstand, rear fork, rear motor, drum brake, rear suspension, and rear lights. On the right side near the folding handle, you have a locking latch. Looking at the handlebar area, you have your brake levers, your light and horn button, your mode buttons, the keyhole, the main display along with the controls, the throttle, and your voltage screen. Okay, now I have the scooter all assembled. There's minimal assembly required. Basically, what you need to do is just tighten the screws for the controls and the display, and then install the headlight, the front headlight, and then you get four rubber caps for the bolts in the front and in the back, and that's basically it. Now looking at the stem here, it does go up and down, so you can adjust it. You see, so there's a fair amount of range depending on your height. And then to lock it in place, just push back on the lever here. Now folding and unfolding the stem is simple. You can fold down the handlebars here. So if you look here, it says open, there's an arrow. So you just want to pull, and then each side folds down. And then you have the locking mechanism here. There's actually a locking mechanism on the other side here too. So you want to make sure, right here, you want to make sure that's unlocked so you can fold it down. And you just pull. And then once you hear that click, it's pretty much locked into place, and you can transport it. Now unfolding it is just the opposite. You want to pull down on the lever here. Probably bring up the handlebars. And then you want to push it forward until you hear the click. And then the locking lever here, you just want to move it down so it won't accidentally fold. And that's pretty much it for unfolding and folding it. Now looking at the lights, you have the button here for the front light. This will activate the front light. You can see the front light, it's pretty bright here. When you hold down the button here, the second button here, for a few seconds, you'll see the light icon, and that light, it will activate the light on the deck. So it has like two front lights in the front, and then on the side here in the rear. When you pull the brakes, it will start to blink here. So it's a reactive brake, so you can see it blink. Just measuring the handlebar length. So the handlebar is about 24 inches. And then looking at the deck here, pretty wide. Let's see, it's about 23 inches. And it's about a little over 8 inches, about 8.5 for the deck. Okay, turning on the scooter, simple, just turn the key here. That will turn on the voltage display. Press the top button here for the main display. And then on the left side, you have your light control for the front headlight. Then you have the horn, Eco, Turbo, single and dual motor mode. Taking a look at the display here, the top button, you can cycle through the trip, odometer, and your time. The bottom button here, if you press it, you can go through the different gears, 1, 2, and 3. And then holding it down for a few seconds will trigger the light on the deck. Now it's time to take it out for a ride. I'll test out the acceleration, the brakes, go uphill and downhill, and give my thoughts. Now, as mentioned, the scooter does have front and rear suspensions. And then you can see here the board flex. All right, now I'm gonna go through the different gears. Again, this has 3 gears. I'm gonna do it in dual motor mode. And let's see how fast each gear goes. Okay, so this is gear 1, and we're gonna do it in dual motor. All right, we're about 11 miles per hour. 12, so 12 miles per hour. I'm gonna go to gear 2. Okay, 19 miles per hour on gear 2. Now gear 3. Oh, definitely a lot of torque there. Front wheels are spinning a bit. 23, 24, 25, 26. About 26 miles per hour on number 3. Now I'll test out the brakes. I'll take it to max speed, and once I come into view, I'll hit the brakes, and you can use the parking lines as reference. All right, now I'm gonna test it on this incline. Let's see how it does uphill. I'll have it on the dual motor mode and on gear 3. So let's see how it does. Whoa, definitely a lot of torque there. We're at 16, 19, 20, 22. Wow. Had no problems going up that hill, and definitely doesn't lack the power. Okay, now I'm gonna go downhill. As you saw, going uphill, definitely a lot of power and torque. We got up to 20 miles per hour with no issue. So taking it downhill now. Wow, again, the power is amazing. Just gets right up there. At 22 miles per hour. Just gonna slow it down here. It's a bit icy on some parts of the road. So one thing to note, when switching from single to dual motor mode, there's no indicator on the display. So basically when you press it, you'll definitely know if you're in single or dual motor. You just feel the power. Same thing with the Eco and Turbo. You know, when you put in the Eco mode, it's gonna conserve a little bit more battery, and it's a little bit slower, as you can see here. Right now I have it on Eco, but when you press Turbo, you can definitely feel it pick up a bit more. Here are my thoughts on the scooter. Very impressive and the fastest scooter that I have reviewed so far on the channel. It requires little assembly and you can be up and running in no time. The build is solid all around and it just feels sturdy and of quality. The deck is nice and wide with good length, and the surface provides good grip and traction. I like that you can raise and lower the handlebar stem to your desired height so you can make the riding experience a lot more comfortable. It feels tight and not loose at all. Folding and unfolding is simple, and the display is very intuitive, but I find it hard to read on sunny days. The lights on the front, side, and rear are fairly bright and give you that extra visibility during the evenings. Now when it comes to the power and speed, it's very impressive. I have it unlocked so it tops out at 28 miles per hour. It gets up there with no problems at all, and at times the front wheels would spin out at the start due to the power. It had no problems conquering the inclines and maintained the speed or even accelerated higher, as you saw during my test. Being in single motor mode is quite plentiful for just cruising around, and having that dual option just takes it to another level. One thing I would have liked to have seen is an indicator on the display when switching from single to dual motor mode, and you only notice it by getting a feel of the acceleration, as I mentioned earlier. As far as the ride, it wasn't bumpy at all, even with the solid tires. The front and rear suspensions do a good job of absorbing the rough surfaces. Overall, it's just an impressive scooter. Good ride quality and not lacking power at all. This is definitely something to check out if you're looking for a dual motor or a more powerful scooter. So that is my review of the Synergy Aviator 2.0 electric scooter. If you like my video, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button as well. Until next time, this is Brian Unboxed. Take care, everyone.